The one thing opponents have learned over the past several years, including in last year's state tournament, is that anytime you step in this batter's box, you don't stand much of a chance. You've probably heard the saying, often imitated, never duplicated, but here at Murray State, Lawler's teammates often try to imitate him, but don't really come close to duplicating it. Once Taylor was given just an opportunity by the UT Martin coaching staff, he took full advantage of it on the practice field, going from a no-name walk-on to a full scholarship player. It's obvious when Langston's in the game for the Racers, they are much better here inside the paint. But in just 7 games that he's played in this season, when Charles Brown comes into the game, he's not played like a freshman.
It's easy to see that Trinity is definitely her father's daughter, adopting some of his basketball motivational quotes and phrases, writing them on her golf balls each year, like this acronym, CTTP.
Commit to the process.
To put it simply, Bart Fleener said his team just got outplayed this afternoon. The Murray Tigers shot just 29% from the floor. Heading into the season, Murray State head coach Matt McMahon spoke about how this year's team could be very deep, but through their first 2 games, their bench scored a combined 7 points. Then last night against Green Bay, the Racers got 41 off of their bench. And this afternoon, the Racers facing Missouri, Kansas City in Game 2 of the Bill Frack tournament in Bowling Green, Ohio. They had 93 points last night, the most they've scored since facing Brescia last season. They jumped out early off the miss. It's DeMarcus Croker, the follow lay, and he had 8 points, 8 rebounds. Racers up 9 in the first half, but UMKC comes back thanks to some lackluster defense. Broderick Robinson runs through everyone for the easy lay-in. Matt McMahon less than pleased with that play. UMKC up 36-34. Second half, Racers down 9. It's Terrell Miller going on a personal 8-0 run, including back-to-back threes. He had 14. Racers go on top by 1 with 14 minutes left. They wouldn't lead again. This play right here pretty much sums up the second half. Off the offensive rebound, they get the putback. Terrell Miller, the bad pass, the turnover leads to another lay-in. Racers gave up 49 second-half points and fall to Missouri, Kansas City, 85-74. Jeff Bidwell has more from Bowling Green. Well, thank you, Jeff. Well, as good as the Kentucky Wildcats have already been this season, there's still room for improvement, especially getting production from their post players. Against Michigan State, the Wildcat big men only took 10 combined shots and scored just 10 points. Tonight, the Wildcats playing host to Duquesne at Rupp Arena. The Wildcats have won their first 3 games on average of 23 points. First half, Wildcats up 7-4, pulling away early. Isaiah Briscoe, the lob to Malik Monk, finishes with the slam. Then moments later, it's Briscoe again, another alley-oop, this time to Michael Mulder. Another slam, Kentucky rolling. Then Briscoe, the assist to Derek Willis, nails the deep 3, 21-11, Wildcats on top. Then later in the first half, Wildcats up 10. Briscoe misses the lay-in, but Sasha Kalia-Jones there for the putback. So the big men doing good early. Kentucky up 50-23 at the break. In the second, Willis forces the steal, gets it to Malik Monk, finishes with a tomahawk slam. He had 14 in the game, and Kentucky rolls in this one. 93-59 is the final. To the NFL now, the Tennessee Titans in a huge division game against the Indianapolis Colts. The Titans have lost 10 straight to the Colts. Last win came back in 2011. Titans trouble during the first half, down 14-0. Colts on 4th down. Andrew Luck finds T.Y. Hilton for the touchdown. Trail 21-7 at the half. To the third, same score. Titans trying to get back into the game, and they do. Marcus Mariota to throw, and throws a pretty ball to Tajay Sharp. The 34-yard touchdown cuts the lead to 21-14. Jump to 4th now, 24-17. Titans with the ball. 4th down and 1, needing this to convert. But DeMarco Murray, 1-yard short turnover on downs. Indianapolis wins this one 24-17. Now 11 straight wins over the Titans. The Bears on the road this afternoon taking on the New York Giants. Chicago looking for their 3rd win of the season. First quarter, no score. Bears in the red zone. Jay Cutler to throw, and he's going to thread the needle to Zach Miller. The 19-yard score, and it's 7-0 Bears on top. Now we jump to the third. It's tied at 16, but the Giants go on top. Eli Manning to Sterling Shepard, wide open in the end zone for the score. The Giants win this one 22-16. The FCS playoff teams were announced this afternoon. UT Martin Skyhawks were not among the 24 teams that made it in. The Skyhawks finished 2nd in the Ohio Valley Conference standings this season behind Jacksonville State, the only team from the OVC to make it in. And earlier this week, head coach Jason Simpson voiced his concern that only one team would make it to the playoffs this season, saying he didn't understand how that could happen. And today, he took to Twitter to voice his displeasure, saying, quote, "Very disappointing. OVC treated like a non-scholarship football league." So some harsh words there from Coach Simpson. UT Martin finished the season 7-5 with 3 of those losses coming to FBS schools.
Jimmy Brown to me is Mr. Cobb.
When you win a tournament like the Irvin Cobb as much as Jimmy Brown has, you deserve that nickname.
I've just been blessed. No way you would ever think that you'd have won, had the career that I ended up having.
Brown has won a record 9 times, the first coming in 1974, the last in 1995.
I can literally remember what that first one meant to me and how I won it. I won in the playoff. The other ones kind of blend together.
Now in his 60s, Brown is still competing in the Cobb each year and says it feels the same.
There will be butterflies. There will be a lot of things. There will be nervousness. I get over the first 4-foot putt, and all that kind of stuff comes back.
Although it's been 20 years since Brown's last win here at the Irvin Cobb Championship, his presence is still felt each year in the knowledge that he's passing on to the newest generation of golfers.
When he's around, everybody is respectful. They watch him, they try to learn, see what he does that they can pick up and learn from him.
They see your name, they see what you've accomplished, but they're out there getting ready to try to make their own.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't have his sights set on at least one more championship.
I've always wanted to get to that 10. That's the thing about the game of golf, though, is it can happen.
And when the 80th Irvin Cobb is played this weekend, what better name to win than Mr. Cobb himself, Jimmy Brown. In Paducah, Adam Wells, WPSD Local 6 Sports. Every pitcher has a different throwing motion. Most of the time, you don't even notice a difference. But that's not the case with Murray State's John Lawler.
Yeah, I guess God gifted me with great hip flexibility.
It's a throwing motion that doesn't look natural, but for Lawler, it's been with him since he was a kid and even on display while playing at Murray High.
I have pictures when I first started, probably when I was 12 or so, and it was high, but it wasn't nearly as high as it is now.
He took it from Nolan Ryan. He believes the higher he gets his leg, the more velocity he's going to get on it.
It's comfortable for John. If I tried to do it, I would probably get hurt.
You've probably heard the saying, often imitated, never duplicated. But here at Murray State, Lawler's teammates often try to imitate him, but don't really come close to duplicating it.
Can't get anywhere near it and almost fall over trying, but he's flexible, but that's just a different kind of flexible.
People make fun of it and try to get their leg up as high as they can, but they always seem to struggle with it.
Not only do they struggle imitating it on first glance, so do hitters.
Kind of tell the opposing team kind of takes a look because it's obviously something no one else really has.
Which is why everyone cringes at the unusual delivery. But don't expect any changes.
I can't imagine doing my wind-up without it. I do it without thinking and no pain.
In Murray, Adam Wells, WPSD Local 6 Sports.